He said they was terrible, and I said, well, I still used them. So I'm having to use my good boots.
We're down on the Comer claim, gold claim here in, I guess we're in Tennessee, ain't we?
Yeah.
Right here. Kentucky's just on up the road. This is what you gotta do when it gets hot and you can't metal detect.
No, no. We're gonna find some gold.
We're gonna find some gold. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Digging with Seven and Tennessee Jeff. Little different video this week. Jeff and I are doing some gold prospecting. That's right, we're doing a little bit of panning and working crevices and what have you here in southern Kentucky and in middle Tennessee. Trying to see if we can pull out a little bit of gold. Now, granted, we don't live in a gold bearing area. There's very little gold to be found in middle Tennessee and southern Kentucky, but we're going to give it a shot. We are going to book a trip a little bit later, maybe to East Tennessee where there is more gold, but we're working crevices today. Basically what a crevice is a break in the bedrock, and you will have a crack, and you want those cracks to go across the creek, so as the water comes down, then you've got a crack. And all the heavies like lead, gold is 19 times heavier than water, and it's heavier than lead, and it's heavier than anything else in the creek, any rocks. But that gold will drop into those crevices. Now, you don't need a lot of equipment to do this. You need a screwdriver or something to clean the crevice out, get all the rocks and everything out, and just put those in your pan, and you can just pan it out, or you can put a sluice in like we do on some of the clean outs that we do. And I've also made a suction tube here. I may in a later video show you how I made this, but you just simply put that down in the crevice there and you're able to suck up all of that material. It's important that you get all the material out of the crevice, because we're talking about weight. We're talking about the heaviness of gold, and it's going to work itself down as far as it can. The ideal thing is to find a crevice that has some compacted rock in it. In other words, you take the surface rock off, which will normally be some of your bigger rocks, and then lower in the crevice, you'll have to take your screwdriver, and I actually took a screwdriver and just bent the tip of it so that I can actually just kind of claw those rocks out and dig down in and get everything that you can out of a crevice. Every rock, everything. And most of the time you can take a small scoop and just fan it, fan the bottom, and get most of the gravel and the debris in the bottom of it. But then you have to take the suction tube and get everything out of the bottom of that crevice, because that's where your gold is going to be. Here's Jeff. Are you comfortable? Huh? Yeah. You may ask, what do I need to get into gold prospecting? Not a lot. You buy you a gold pan. I'm using a Garrett Super Sluice. You can get you also a classifier. What that is just a screen to screen your material out. And then I would suggest that you get a sluice box too. It is an apparatus that allows you to go through a lot of material real quick. You can run a 5-gallon bucket of material through a sluice real quick. It's got ripples in it, and then it's got carpet under the bottom, and it has a screen at the top up there. And as the water goes across and you put your material in, the flow of the water creates an eddy behind each ripple. That will cause your heavies to drop. Your lead and your gold will drop down into that carpet. And as you run all your material through, then you've got very little material to put in a pan once you clean the sluice out. So I would suggest that you spend the money on the sluice, because it will just cut down on the operation, and it's a whole lot easier than just taking a pan and digging out of a crevice or wherever you're digging, and then working that pan, and then working another pan, then working another pan. A sluice takes a lot of the work out of it.
All right, here we are. This is our first bucket run through the sluice. Think we're gonna be rich, Seven?
No, I don't think we'll be rich, but I think we'll have some fun. Let's see what we got right here.
It is a lot cooler in this creek, isn't it?
Oh man, I'm enjoying it. And I was in the sun over there, but I mean, you get down in the water, the water's cool.
It is cool.
I'm not seeing anything in the indicator pad there. I believe the flow's pretty good right here. Yeah. You want to pour that where you're pouring into the upstream. Just pouring it down. And I'm just telling you things that I've seen
On YouTube.
on YouTube. We're all new to this. Clean this sluice out.
It should have some in it. I hope so.
Look at all the paint we've got.
A lot cooler in the creek.
It is cool. I like it. There's our setup right there, down in Tennessee. If you've never panned, panning is really a simple process. It's kind of slow, but it's a simple process. You've got ribs along in your pan right here which will catch your heavies. And you want to get all of your material in here and then work it up real good with water, shake it down. Stratify everything is the technical term for that, I think. And that puts all of your lead and all of your gold and everything down at the bottom. And then you just tilt your pan with the ribs down where you're catching everything. Let your water come up over your material, dip it in and pull it out generally about 3 times. And then stratify it again with it tilted, so you want everything now falling right into this corner right here. And you just work it back and forth, and then you clean out and you clean out, and it will eventually get everything out of there. And then you will just have your heavies and your small stuff. Look for lead, because where lead is, that's where the gold is going to be. The heavies, that's what you're looking for. Out of that crevice right there, those are all little pieces of lead. But I do have one speck of gold, and I know you can't see it, because I can barely see it. I see one. So I'll snuff it out and see all those little bird shots. If they was any big gold, bigger gold nuggets or pickers, they would be right in there. Even when you don't find gold, of course that's what we're after, is the gold. It is a beautiful scene out here this morning. Creek just bubbling down right through here. Hey, thanks for joining us this week on Digging with Seven and Tennessee Jeff. Want to remind you that we have a podcast every Thursday night. It's called Relics Radio. It's on Spreaker.com. It's at 8 o'clock each Thursday. That's Eastern time. We always have some of the hobby's best guests, and we always have a good time. So we'll see you next Tuesday on YouTube, and we'll see you Thursday on Relics Radio.